Hey, shalom. How's everybody doing? So great. We have another live one this week. Shalom, Doug, Betty, Betty Tipping, Daniel, Kenneth, Brenda, Troy, Harrison, our other Doug. So glad you guys are all here. Pay made it. All right, Pay. Great. Today we will be covering First Kings chapter 16, verse 14, and then hopefully we'll make it as far as 17, although 16 is a pretty big verse. We'll have to see how it goes. Kind of feel out everybody. I am enjoying a nice hot cup of Stash kosher tea, English breakfast tea, along with, I usually don't drink it with milk. I usually use almond milk or something like that, but today we've steamed it with milk and it has some erythritol in there for flavor. I know, I know. And that's it. It's pretty nice. It was rainy outside and getting kind of chilly for Philippines. Shalom, mentat assassin. Glad you made it. All right, we have our minion. That's great. So I just want to say a little blessing over you all. May Adonai fill your hearts with shalom and your lips with his words. May you meditate on his word and remember them. May he supernaturally gift you Hebrew memory that you absorb the vocabulary, you absorb the verses, and they're there for you when you need them to give an answer at the right moment in life. All these things we ask by the merit of Yeshua HaMashiach. Hey, shalom, Gary. And Brenda likes my drink. It is yummy. I might have put a bit too much erythritol in because it was too low, and then I add a bit more. And it's 2 tea bags. It's a big old mug. You've seen my big mug. All right, let's get started then. Here we are, First Kings chapter 16, verse 15. Let's scan it first. It's kind of a long verse, so I think I'll only scan it to the Atnachta. That's the semicolon there. All right. בשנת 27 שנה לעשה מלך יהודה מלך זמרי 7 ימים בתרצה. And we have a color issue there. I missed a color. Let me fix that real quickly. Or maybe we'll fix it when I get there. That'll be better. All right. So at the beginning of this verse, we have a construct chain right away. The Shenat Asrim. Oi, 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 999. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? So, be in the Shana, that's year, but the construct is Shanat. So, year of Asrim, 20. So, be Shnat Asrim, or if you're just listening, be Shanat Asrim, in year of 20, Vasheva. Va, that va there is an and Sheva. 7. Oh, missing 14? Really? Hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Thank you. Thank you, Betty. We almost skipped 14. I was happy to do it. Okay, forget all that. Verse 14. Okay, I'm just going to read through normally one time. ויתר דברי אלה וכל אשר עשה, הלא הם כתובים על ספר דברי הימים למלכי ישראל? All right. Ve'yeter. All right, thank you so much, Ben. Glad we didn't miss that verse. Ve. And now we have a construct chain of 3 words. It's da yeter, da divrei Elah. Now, Elah is a person's name, so that's going to make the whole chain definite, right? That last word being definite means we're going to get to say the on the rest of the chain. So ve yeter. Yeter, yod tav resh, means the rest. The rest. So ve yeter, now the rest of divrei. Divrei is a construct formed from the word devarim, which is the plural of davar. So davar meaning word or thing, affair like happening, occurrence. Devarim, things or occurrences. Divrei, occurrences of or happenings of, things of, affairs of, Elah. So, the yeter, and or now the yeter, the rest of divrei, that's the devarim, the words or the things of Elah. Vechol, ve, and chol, all, asher, aleph shin resh, which, asa, ayin sin, hey, he did. Okay, so far we have the yeta divrei Elah, and the rest of the things of Elah, the chol, and everything or all, asher, which, asa, he did. Halo, or halo. Now, I don't know if you can see, I maybe chose a bad color for that. We'll go a bit lighter. There's a hey, and the vowel under it is what we call a chatuf patach. It's like a half vowel. It's a half of a patach, even though today we pronounce them the same. And this hey is what we call the hey interrogative. So it introduces, oh, I did draw a question mark there. It just was too lightly colored. I see it now on my own screen. This thing introduces a question mark in the middle of the sentence. I don't know if you heard it when I was reading. I was like, "Hello, hem kituvim al sefer devrei hayamim l'malchei Yisrael." Trying to keep that questioning tone going. So, lo, lo. This is just a fuller spelling of lo, like you've learned it, lamed and aleph. Lo is not hem, mem. They is not they or are not they. Ketuvim, ketuvim. So this is from the verb katav, which is one of our words of the day. It means to write, write, katav. But if you insert certain vowels in here, we can make it passive. So I'm writing the consonants. If you're a visual learner, I'm writing the consonants in white. And, okay, we'll just stick with the violet. And I'm going to put the vowels in violet, okay? If I put a ah underneath the first consonant and an oo after the second one, that means written, like it is written. It is written. Haloze katuv b'sifrei hakodesh. Is not this written in the holy writings? So katuv is a passive written. And if you care about that grammatical pattern, you don't have to know this, but if you care, this is called a passive participle, okay? So what we have up above, it's the same thing, but it's a plural. Why? Because haim, they. So halo, haim are not they, and the they is referring back to divrei, all the things, the devarim, all the things which he did, which Elah did. Are not they ketuvim, ketuvim, written? Now there is a little vowel change here under the kaf. I'm not sure if I should go into this in great detail. Do you guys remember why that changed, or do you care? If it doesn't bother you, you don't have to know why. I'll just tell you what it's called. It's called the pre-tonic comments rule. So you can ask me about that later if you want to know, or you can look it up. Okay. So katuv, when the accent moved, became ketuv. So ketuvim, are not they written? Al, ayin lamed, upon. And now we have another construct chain. De sefer, de divrei hayamim. So again, we've got that last word in the chain is definite. So its definiteness is imparted to all the other words in the chain. So that means we try to say the before we translate those words. Unless it sounds goofy, then you don't have to say it. Okay? So, upon the sefer, the scroll of, remember we always have of in the construct chains in between, the scroll of the divrei, so that's devarim, the words or the happenings, the things, the affairs. Oi, nine, what are you doing? Of, interesting, it actually listened to the nine, and it came back, of hayamim, of the days. So, again, the yeter divrei Elah, and the rest of the things of Elah, vechol asher asa, and everything which he did, halo haim ketuvim, are not they written upon the sefer the divrei hayamim. That's the sefer, the scroll of the things or the words of the Yamim, days. Now, this is the Hebrew way to say Chronicles, the book that we just call Chronicles. And actually, the next part's part of the title, too. Chronicles, what? What is being chronicled? Le da Malchei Yisrael. So, Malchei is the construct formed from Melachim, which is plural from Melech. So, le, to or belonging to, and because that last word, Yisrael, is definite, it will the definiteness will get imparted across the whole construct chain again, right? It's definite. So we will try to say the. So, Sefer Divrei Hayamim, the book or the scroll of the happenings of the days, le, to, like belonging to, we could probably say of in English, de Malchei Yisrael, the kings of Yisrael. Hey, shalom, Jessica. Chemical medic, shalom. Right, pay. The kings want their life written forever. Okay. By the way, just a reminder for those of you who are interested, the first chapter of the Jewish Greek of Genesis, we've got 6 lessons out there on my Patreon doing immersion teaching for the Jewish Greek for the Septuagint, first chapter of Genesis. And then you don't have to go through that if you don't want. And now, today we put out a lesson for the beginning of the book of Revelation, the Jewish Greek of that. And in those lessons, I talk about the underlying Hebrew to the words, right? What the mappings are via the Septuagint, kind of as a key to understand the Greek, because I believe it is Jewish Greek. It's not just normal Koine Greek, it's the way that we spoke it. Just like Yiddish is kind of our way of doing Old German, and Ladino is our way of doing Old Spanish, classical Spanish. And Judeo Arabic is our way of doing Old Arabic or Older Arabic. And there are even some other Jewish languages. So we write it with Hebrew and we have kind of our own spin on it, but it comes from originally those other languages. So the same with Greek, it's no different. I believe it's no different. And anyway, so if you're interested, I've got a class, the first class for Revelation, understanding the Greek, that is out there for our, I think that's inner court tier. Inner court tier. Let me know if I got the tier wrong. So anyway, I do recommend that you have some kind of studying in Hebrew first before going into the Greek. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it definitely will make it better for understanding the Yiddishkeit of the Greek, like how I can claim that it's a Jewish dialect of Greek, not just the quote unquote common Greek that people spoke all over the empire. Okay, let's go through it again. This time you try to translate before I do. Ve yeter divrei Elah. And we might as well be complete. He's definite, so he's going to impart his definiteness to the other words in the construct chain. Okay. So, the. Now, the yeter, the remaining, or the rest of the divrei, that's construct from devarim, words or things, affairs of Elah. Vechol, vechol, and everything, asher, which, asa, he did. Halo, haim, ha. That's the hey interrogative, the question mark. Lo, not haim, they, ketuvim. Just like the part of scriptures called the ketuvim, right? The ketuvim, we have the Torah, the Nevi'im, and the ketuvim, right? The ketuvim are the third level of holiness, right? Torah's on top, then the prophecies, then the writings, with possible exceptions of Psalms. The writings, right? So are not they written al upon the Sefer the Divrei Hayamim, the Sefer, the scroll of the words or happenings, affairs of the Yamim, the days. So that means chronicles, all that together. You could say upon the chronicles of Le Malchei Yisrael. So belonging to the Malchei, construct from Melachim, kings of Yisrael. How you guys doing? Any comments or questions before I move on to the next verse? This is live, so feel free to ask your question. Just keep it a little relevant, please. If you have no questions, at least give me a 1 in the chat so I can be sure that everything is coming across loudly and clearly. See how I caught myself? I was like, oh, adverb. Loud? No, adverb. Lee. Not seeing anything happen in the chat. Oh, there we go. Harrison says these lessons are sweet, like honey, wisdom, Baruch Hashem. All right, I see the ones. Thanks, guys. Gary says there is one place that says, quote, they are written in the Chronicles instead of are they not written? That's a good trivia question, Gary. I'm going to side with probably. I'm not sure offhand. Yeah. I didn't file that one away. That's an interesting question. Probably. Yeah, what's with the rhetorical, right? Why do you have to say, are not they written? It's like everybody knows this. Everybody knows it's in the Chronicles, which is actually kind of interesting because who in those days actually had access to the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? It's an elite few, right? I mean, it's not like back when this was written, nobody was reading the Chronicles of the kings of Israel. I mean, a few people had access, but it's kind of interesting. Oh, nice. Gary says we came across it in a study. Oh yeah, yeah, let us know on Telegram. That'd be great. Which, by the way, if you'd like to join our Telegram community, non-denominational, non-sectarian, you don't have to believe exactly like we do, but you do have to love the God of Israel and be interested in biblical Hebrew, Lashon HaKodesh, and have respect for the sacred writings. You can come and chat with our admins over at https://t.me/Hebrew literacy. And then maybe I'll write that on the screen. That's worth it. Without the HTTP stuff. Okay, that's weird. Hold on. T.me, like me, / Hebrew literacy. Now, this will not bring you to the chat. It will take you to the admin screening area where they'll just make sure you're kosher, and then they'll add you in to the private room. Okay. We had to do this because of problems with Islamofascists in the past. Let's see. Let's see. Gary says 2 Kings 15:26 and 31. Booyah! Thank you for that, Gary. The acts of Pekah. Very cool. All right. I'll just read through it one time normally, and then we'll continue through. Okay. Normal reading, no tones. ויתר דברי אלה, וכל אשר עשה, הלא הם כתובים על ספר דברי הימים למלכי ישראל? And the answer is yes, they are. Yes. All right, verse 15. 15. Please don't forget to click like if you like what we're doing here. We may be shadow banned, but we have hopes of breaking out one day. It sure would be nice. Also, if you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon. You can see it down below, patreon.com/Hebrew literacy. You can join as a free member. You don't have to pay. It's just there's extra materials available for those who pay, just as kind of a way to say thank you for helping make possible everything we do. It's always a struggle. No one's rich over here, okay? So just, if you have any qualms, I don't know if I should give to this guy. Don't worry. It's going it's going to help make these teachings. All right? So, and we greatly appreciate it. Or you can just stay free. I'm posting something later tonight. Well, this is free, of course, what we're doing now. That's over on Patreon as well. And later today, I will be posting part 2, when I'm done with the edits, of the ancient triennial Torah cycle for this coming Shabbat's Torah portion, as I taught it last cycle, but edited, music and effects and stuff. So be on the lookout for that. That will be for all tiers as well. All right. Verse 15. Hold on, I lost my mouse. There we go. Verse 15. I'm not going to read it again. We scanned it before before Betty saved us. Yes, slowly and surely, Brenda. And there's a handful of gems out there among students. A handful of you really, really, I know a lot of you are working hard. I appreciate seeing that, seeing the fruits. And there's some of you that don't come anymore just because you already have gone so far. That's also cool. All right. Be shenat ha'asrim. Be in shana, year of ha'asrim, 20. Bishnat ha'asrim, in year 20, or literally in year of 20, va sheva, and 7, shana, year, le asa, belonging to asa. So this is like those formulas in such and such year of his reign, right? So Bishnat Asrim Vasheva Shana, in the 27th year of Asa, da Melech Yehudah. So here again we have a construct chain. The last word is a name, so that means it's definite. So again, the will be imparted to the other words in the chain. In this chain, it's just one other word. So we'll translate the Melech of Yehudah, the king of Yehudah. I love Brenda's optimism, by the way. Much appreciated. Even if sometimes I seem to be disagreeing with you. I love that you're optimistic. That's great. Keep being that way. Malach Zimri. Now, malach is the verb from where we get the noun melech. A melech is someone who malachs. We translate melech as king, but really, if we were to translate closer to the Hebrew, it would mean reigner, right? Reigner with a G, a silent G, reigner, right? Because one who malachs, one who reigns. A moshel is one who mashals, a ruler, right? So, but king, because they are a king, so we can translate that way. That's fine. But just if you wanted the feel of what it's like in Hebrew, a melech malachs, a reigner reigns, right? Just like a tselem salams, and imager, images, right? So, and we are to be, as Dr. Michael Heiser used to say, Betzelem Elohim, as imagers, or Ketzelem, as imagers of God. Okay? Malach is the verb, and the subject is Zimri. Zimri reigned. Construct, but it doesn't really need to be in English. Da Shivat Yamim. 7 of days. Yamim. Bethirza. Okay? This is where I needed to colorize it. Sorry, I missed that guy. Let me fix it now. In or at, and it's a place name, hence the gray. Thirza. Veha'am. And ha, the people, and the people, chonim. Chet, nun, yod, mem. So this one's a little bit tricky because we have a lamed hey verb here. The verb is actually chet, nun, and then hey. But the hey at the end of verbs oftentimes goes away. So we're just left with chet and nun. So chane or chone is to camp or to encamp. So this is what we call, you don't have to know this, it's okay. If you don't like knowing the grammatical terms, you just want to recognize the patterns, no problem. But this is, oi, go back. This is what we call an active participle. We had passive participle with chetuvim, written. Here it's chonim, camping, encamped. V'ha'am, and the people, we probably need to say were from English. Chonim, camped. V'al, near or against. Gibbethon. Gibbethon. Harrison says, dig that. Read, Rob. There's only one true king, Yeshua. So the Hebrew was an inherent context of those reigners who called themselves kings. There we go. Like Father said, you want a reigner? I'll give you a reigner to reign over all of you. Oh, right. With Shaul HaMelech, right? With King Saul. Nice. Okay. Asher, which is Lap Plishtim. Le is to. Op, that op there, that's the definite article. He left his footprint, right? Remember, the definite article, he has usually a patach under him and a dot in the next letter, right? That's usually how it works. And we have the hey, right? The hey, and then whatever letter's next. But when a preposition comes in, bait, kaf, or lamed, it's like an ancient Israeli kicking out the Canaanites. We kept the brick houses, the stone houses, and we kicked them out, right? So the hay's the Canaanite, and he's going to get kicked out. Oh no, the Israelis are kicking me out. Oh no. But he leaves his footprint. The vowel remains, and the dagesh in the next letter remains. Maybe I should have made those different colors. Oh well, good enough. So the lamed is to, as in belonging to. Op is the Plishtim, the Philistines. Al Gibbethon, against Gibbethon, Asher, which La Plishtim belongs to the Philistines, or is of the Philistines, you could say. No worries, Tet. You're a grandma now. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Her daughter had a baby on Tet's birthday this week. What a nice birthday present you got. Or did it extend past midnight? I don't remember. Did she make it in time for your birthday? Oi, ants are trying to get in my tea. Give me a second. That would not have been kosher. It reminds me, do you remember when the master said, he gives a little teaching about probably the Shammite Pharisees. He says, you strain out A little bug, like a gnat, probably, right? GNAT. But you swallow a camel. So I just wanted to bring to mind, since it reminded me his aunt's trying to get in my tea. What is Yeshua saying here? He's telling them, you correctly try not to eat the little trafe bug, the little bug that's not kosher. But then, why didn't he say you eat a cow, or you eat a goat, or you eat a sheep, you eat a lamb, you eat a chicken? Because camel is not kosher. So always, always, always read the teachings of the master in the Jewish context, the ancient Israeli context. So he's telling them, you strain out a little thing that's not kosher, but then you eat the entire non-kosher animal, the entire treif animal, the gamal. You eat it. I remember the first time I went to Dubai, seeing in their store Yam Le Yam. It's like day to day, right? They had camel milk. It's like, ew. First of all, not kosher, but weird. I was taking pictures of all kinds of foods. Found it fascinating. You're welcome, Tet. May may you be able to teach her and impart to her so much wisdom, and may she never turn away from it. Oh, 3 hours after midnight. I just missed the birthday. Oh well. Well, that'll be fun. You can have your birthday and then hers. So that's pretty cool. So then he goes on to say, you ought to do the big things and not leave the little things undone either, right? So he's not saying it's okay to drink gnats. That would be a Mohammedan teaching. Muhammad is the false prophet. He's the one who said you can drink flies. If a fly in the Quran it says, if a fly lands in your cup, do not remove it. For though one wing has the disease, the other wing has the cure. There's a lot of stuff that sounds like wisdom, isn't there? But it's just abject foolishness. Wrong, 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 wrong. There's no benefit to leaving the fly in your cup when you drink. Get that nasty thing out of there. Ugh. All right. Now I'm going to read through again. You try to translate before I do, okay, guys? Bishnat Asrim, or Shenat Asrim, in year of Asrim, 20, Vasheva, and 7, Shana, year, Le'asa, of Asa, or belonging to Asa, Melech Yehuda, the Melech, king of Yehuda, Judah, Malach Zimri, Zimri reigned, Shivat Yamim, 7 of days, Bethirza, at Thirza, Ve'ha'am, and the people, Chonim, were camped, or were camping, Al, near, or against, Gibbethon, Gibbethon, Asher, which is La, or Le, Ap, Plishtim, La Plishtim, to the Philistines, belonging to the Philistines. One more time, no more reading, no tones or anything. Bishnat Asrim Vasheva Shana Leasa Melech Yehuda Malach Zimri Shivat Yamim Bethirza V'ha'am Chonim Al Gibbethon Asher La Plishtim. How you guys doing? Let me do a time check. Let's see. Okay, that might be a good place to stop. I did have a couple more verses, but these were kind of long, weren't they? You guys have any comments or questions before I let you go? Yay, no ants in the tea. Remember, do the big parts of the Torah, and also do not leave the small parts left undone either. Don't eat camels, and don't eat gnats. Yay, Jessica liked it. Harrison says, excellent. Thanks for another great lesson, Rob. We appreciate these more than we can say, Baruch Hashem. So glad. I like having you guys here live. It's really cool when we can do that. So tomorrow we'll be over on Patreon. All right. And I don't know if I can do it live or not. We'll see. Either it'll be live or it'll be pre-recorded as a drop, but you can still chat. So over on Patreon for our outer court tier members, we will be doing Koheleth. That's Ecclesiastes. I'm so grateful that all of you are here. Please leave a comment if you missed the live session, and I will catch you guys later. Shalom, shalom.